Who's the
All right,
caller?
we are supposed to be
Show
live,
yourself.
Mhm.
far as
Okay.
I can
Cool.
see. We are live, and I think sound as well. Yep, we got sound on Twitch.
Hello, hello. Yep, we got some. Sweet.
All right, let's see.
All
Okay.
right. Monday. Guys, go ahead and start it. Cool.
Roll it.
Awesome. Alrighty. Welcome, Magna. Welcome, Vlad.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is
With
Lone
us.
Wick. We are room 110, the traders in that room 110 ecosystem with a bunch of amazing people. This is Markets and Stuff with Room 110. We do it every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern, and we go over what we're looking at in the week ahead. So let's check out the currency we always start with, which is the dollar. So we've made a pretty nice rally back up into this range. This is the daily chart here. Took out some liquidity below that previous pivot low there. Yeah, so we are just kind of ranging at the moment. I like to go down to the 4 hour, look at some levels here. So a couple weeks ago, we were kind of targeting this, or at least, we kind of mentioned that we were targeting this little equal high situation here. And we got there, didn't run much higher. We're just kind of sitting here ranging right at that area. This could be seen as kind of a resistance sort of spot here, or turn resistance here. Maybe we come back lower into the range here. Maybe we make newer lows. But yeah, kind of hard to tell at the moment. We could come up and make some highs as well. In the near term, I do kind of want to see it come back down here into this like gap area, but I have to find the logic for that. Let's check out the economic calendar and see what we have going on there. How is price going to potentially act this week? So we have a decent week ahead, not like massive. This week could be interesting overall. I mean, let's see, Monday, we've already done, let's see, Swiss CPI, inflation, New Zealand. So nothing big today. Maybe Swiss CPI did something that probably helped a little volatility. Tomorrow is probably the biggest day. Yeah, it looks like it. So tomorrow we have the core price index. So inflation numbers, 8:30 a.m. Eastern in the U.S. So that'll probably be the heaviest day on the economic calendar. Right now, we're going to sit here and anticipate that, meaning we're going to probably have a bit of a pause in the markets and not make any big move until tomorrow morning. Is it's a higher probability that that's what happens. So that's kind of what I'm looking at in the dollar here. At the moment, we could just sit really tight in this current range that we have going on here. I don't see a reason for a move higher to break this unless we are doing kind of a fake out move to break this previous high and then drop back down. That tends to be kind of things we see in Asian session, maybe going into London, kind of whips back and forth. So yeah, that's pretty high probability that that's what we're going to do, is basically just stay in a range until tomorrow morning. I would be surprised to see otherwise. But, outside of the economic calendar, who knows? Like, we're kind of getting some, sketchy news with China and the US, and some crypto news. So, we could get just a news item that comes out that we're not really expecting, and that could drive some volatility into the market before that potentially. So those are the things to look out for. Those are kind of what I'm watching for. Um, and of course, we're talking about dollar here, not to be confused with crypto. So dollar goes up, we mostly expect crypto, other markets to go down. Not always point for point, but that's like the general kind of expectation. Yeah, so that's kind of my idea for this week. You guys have any thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm seeing it. The CPI numbers. Basically, that's everything. Every trade seems to be centered around heading into that right now. Um, what the issue there is that November and December CPI numbers were actually revised upwards, and that was towards the end of last week. And so you can't help but think that maybe some of the legacy market correction was somewhat due to that. They may be expecting a higher number tomorrow. Higher number tomorrow with that unemployment, the good unemployment figures or jobs figures that came out of non-farm payrolls a few weeks ago, or combined with that, people are going to start being worried about half percent rate hikes again, and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, I mean, looking at volatility now, of course, the way that we look at it is that we're looking for, okay, what's the direction it's trading at leading into this event, and yeah, so usually if it's running higher into the event, then we're looking for some reversion back lower after the whole initial whipsaw happens. But now we've taken such a big leg down, a couple of legs down in the past few days. Hey, it'd be nice, if we keep on going down heading into this event, because then you start thinking that, hey, what we have to look forward to is the upside. So it's a tough call for me. It's really tough. Like this morning, it was tough to call. And I think even Vlad had asked me about New York Open and how I would play it, but it's not. It's not as straightforward as some other days. Other days it is a little more straightforward, where okay, you could take a risk here and feel pretty good about it, but today it was all over the place. And
Yeah.
you had to get risky if you were going to try to make some money this morning, and yeah, good thing we did. But it definitely has you on the seat of your pants sometimes. So other than that, SPX looking not. I mean, well, it was running up, and then it's coming back down. So yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It looks like we could be seriously ranging into tomorrow, which is fine, which is totally fine. But crypto kind of seems to have some specific stuff going on right now with the whole BUSD situation, the Paxos, some situation like that. Some news came out about how Circle had warned about this issue with Binance before, and so it's like the FUD wars are on, and the FUD wars are. I mean, they're okay. It gives you volatility to trade, but at the same time, if you're on the wrong side of the trade, yeah, it's not fun. So also, there's some exchange risk whenever I hear that, especially because, well, I used to keep the majority of my stuff on Binance US, and I've been slowly pulling it off again. It's like the second time in just a couple months I've had to do that out of FUD. But you got to be safe. You got to protect it. And unfortunately, it seems like downside is decent probability. So I'm not willing to just put it all in a cold wallet and then hold it. No, I got to keep it trading. So I moved it over to Coinbase, and Coinbase sucks. We all know that. I mean, it's literally the worst. Yeah, you know how they're. I don't know. It's the worst trading platform ever. Yeah, it's horrible. So other than that, things I'm looking at. Can you see my screen, Vlad? Am I sharing the right one here?
Let's switch over to your screen.
Oh wait, well, hold on. Were you done there, boss?
Oh yeah. I just switched it over to BTC to kind of see
done.
where we were relative to the dollar, and yeah, I was all good.
We're on your screen
right.
now, Magna.
Yeah. So this morning, whenever you have this stable, Vlad nails this stuff, man, and he told us all about Liquidity. Is that how you pronounce it? LQTY.
Liquidity,
Yeah,
Liquidity.
Liquidity,
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Look at this. Yeah, look at this monster. If I was to put a Vlad's Discord message yesterday about this thing, it would be like right at the bottom of this. This is a 12-hour chart. It'd be like right at this red candle right there. I mean, that's how money that was. And of course,
Beautiful.
you say,
Yeah.
yeah, we should all buy some. And did any of us buy it? No. But look at that. I mean, that's just monster Chad candle right there. Um, and then he talked to Vlad about some of these other things too. I saw CRV on the Twitters, people talking about that. And you can see this chart. I mean, look at that, just clean bounce off the 200-day moving average. Of course, no one could predict that you're going to have this kind of FUD situation. So, hey, maybe it's coincidence, maybe not. But I played it and I bought some spot earlier today at about $1.02. CVX though is the one that Vlad told us all about. I think months ago, I want to say about this one. And here's this one. This one had a pretty good run up today as well. I did catch along on this, but I don't know what to do about it at this point. Yeah, when were you telling us about this one, Vlad? It was a while back, huh?
Yeah, it's one of those been on my list for a really really long time. I actually found out about it by watching Ethereum wallets. Like, I think a year ago, and I was trying to figure out. No, it must have been longer. I was trying to figure out, what are the big wallets kind of buying, and then I just saw some whale wallet, like a top 100 wallet, just absorbing a shit ton of CVX, and I was like, all right, well, got to check this stuff out. I've
Right.
never seen the token before, and that's how I found it, I guess. And turns out it's a pretty interesting and novel protocol that someone smarter than me explain someday. But it's all connected
right.
to Curve and voting, and where the liquidity goes to in the Curve pools. Um, and
And the narrative with the CRV is that stablecoin is that they're looking to issue their own stablecoin, and CRV is actually used, quite a bit for DeFi stuff, isn't it?
yeah, Curve is doing a lot of volume. I mean, Curve was
Yeah.
basically right Uniswap, right, but for stable coins. So they kind of
There
changed
you
the
go.
the curve for the pricing curve basically, to make it fit for stable
Yeah.
coins.
Right. So, other ones were coming out with stable coins, like Near was coming out with stable coin, Tron was coming out with stable coin, but nobody fucking used that shit. Okay. Well, CRV, people actually do use it, apparently. So this is one I'm looking at because, as narratives go, you follow the narratives. What was that saying you had today in Discord, Vlad, about the problem solved?
Yeah,
Like that?
yeah. I guess whatever solves the issue at hand, or the
Whatever solves the current problem.
yeah. I guess you
Yeah.
gotta be fast on it, but it makes the like what is gonna come next fairly simple.
Right, right.
Because you can always be
Well,
like, we're gonna have more users now. Okay, well, blockchains don't scale very well. Fees are gonna get high. Okay, so
right.
that's a problem. What solves that problem? Well, layer twos, layer ones, and we saw that happen, right? Last bull run, for example, and then we had the exchange thing with FTX. You saw a bunch of decentralized exchange tokens run, because of it, because that also kind of solved the problem. Like, all right, where do we trade now?
Right. So you see that, the timing of this one, it's no coincidence. You'll see the capital flowing from certain things into this because they, BUSD is going to have an issue. Then, hey, let's get on a stable coin narrative. Another narrative that I don't know much about, and Vlad knows about this, is this one called Synops. I think it's called Synops, SYN. And that was just I saw Pentoshi tweet about it on Twitter, and I looked at it. I was like, that chart looks actually pretty good. So I got into some of this. I got filled about a buck 20, and I scaled in a little bit before that as well. So this one looks like it has a pretty good upside too. You see another one that bounced real clean off the 200-day moving average. Not a big fan of this huge wick that happened earlier today, but it filled me, so I can't be too mad about it. But it filled me at about a buck 20, and it could have some room to the downside there. So yeah, if Vlad wants to talk about that one more about the fundamentals, that would be pretty cool. But me, I'm just trading the chart, and the chart looked pretty good. Plus, I'm not gonna lie, Pentoshi has done stuff like this before and posted about fundamental analysis stuff with some technical levels and stuff, and he's been pretty good at that. So I'm not saying I'm copy trading, but I'm copy trading. All right.
If it
Other one
makes
I'm
money.
looking at is OP. Now, if it makes money, OP was one that I talked about a while ago on stream. I'm pretty sure we talked about, and let's get to this one. This is a weekly. Um, okay, let's get to no. Let's
Yeah,
get
that's
to like
into the level that we talked about, isn't it?
exactly. This
Kind
is
of
that range.
deep
This is
in
the
there.
range. Yeah. And the other day, I think it was Friday. I was saying, hey, if it reclaims this range, then I'm feeling pretty. I'll get into some. Well, it was just Chop City. It didn't work out too well, and so there's a bunch of break even trades and going nowhere, working for nothing kind of thing. Uh, but then so now you see that it's falling down in here, and so now it's fighting with the mid range of this. So if we get if was a fifth, we'd all be drunk. But if we get down to this, let's go with that 4 hour. If we get to the lower part of this range and possibly even into this area and reclaim this, I will probably start getting back into it. But
Yeah, I like it.
until then, no trade zone for me. No way, no way. Hands off. I'm staying out of that. And then of course Solana. Solana was a fun morning for us in room 110. We took some longs on it, and it took us for a little ride, but it was fun and it worked out. But I had some levels marked out on this a while ago too. And where are we on those? We are back. This is that mid range, and we're still rejecting out the mid range. This is the bottom of it. So I don't know where a good reentry is. If you're looking for like a long term spot hold, but I had pointed this $18 area out a while ago last time, and I think Vlad did as well. I think that might be a good point if you want to buy some spot, but we'll see what tomorrow brings. I wouldn't do too much tomorrow unless you know what you're doing. Unless you're ready to gamble, which I am.
Going into tomorrow, or
Going into tomorrow, I'd say for a lot, not necessarily
gotcha. Yep.
you and I and Vlad, because we like to live dangerously. But anyone who's listening on the stream, unless you want to be managing trades actively over the next 24 hours, that you might kind of just want to wait and see if some of these levels get hit, and then maybe buy some then.
Yeah, likely just a very short-term scalping atmosphere, and not any follow through.
Yeah, that'd be nice if we got some lower levels. Let's look at East. If we got some lower, I mean, we're like teetering on the brink here. But if we did get some lower levels, down to this mid range, buy some, that would be nice. On a CPI wicks down into here and then run us back up. That'd be fun. I'm gonna buy those wicks tomorrow if they show up.
Cool.
Yep. Vlad, what do you got?
What do I got? Well, I mean, there isn't much that looks great for buying right now. So that's the unfortunate, like you guys were saying, finding short-term things at the extremes that sort of works for now, and maybe we got a little bit lucky on Solana. Maybe it stalls out right here,
luck. That was skill. That wasn't luck, baby. That was skill.
yeah.
I'm out of the trade, but just so you guys know, I'm out. I'm out of the trade, but now, just so you guys know, full disclosure.
Yeah. Now I'm holding this one for higher. Hopefully, we'll see, because the entry for Solana is close.
Yeah, it was nice.
That's and I think
I took 2 break evens on that. I think you guys got the win. But
I took 2 break evens
like,
too.
Okay, I'm gonna wait. Oh yeah, yeah. It was whippy.
It was crazy, and it was. I almost for some reason Femex traded a little bit higher, so I didn't get stopped out. But if I would have been in front of my computer and was seeing all that, I actually would have added more at about 1975. I would have added more because my invalidation was like right at 1970. So I would have done it. Fuck it. Yeah. But oh well.
Yeah, you must have had a little bit more conservative stop than us too, because mine were a little tight. Mine were within that range, not below the lows, which is something I should have done. But with the way that it came down on like a third point near the lows, I probably would have cut anyway. So yeah, it is what it is.
Well, like I said, I was driving down the street and making trades. So I just
Yeah.
said, hey, I don't want to lose more than this dollar amount. That was how my
Yeah. And sometimes
right,
just
yeah.
leaving it like that is the way to go.
Yeah, and I never do it that way, but sometimes when I'm busy, I got to do it. So, anyways, yeah, sorry, Vlad. Go ahead.
Oh, I was muted. All right, I'm going to switch over to my screen.
Okay.
There we go for the Solana idea. Just basically, it's basically some idea of a range trade. I mean, this looks ugly as can be at the moment, so I'll give it that, which is kind of why I'm willing to have a stab at it, because a lot can change with this picture once if this starts to go further up at this point. But yeah, this is also like ripe for more downside. Kind of aligns with everything else we talked about. I guess the hope from my side, if there's like bullish hope, maybe dollar does go sideways and SPX maybe also can go sideways, and that could give breathing room for crypto or maybe smaller assets in that sense. You would kind of have the same effect as in like the currency markets, where if the majors are all ranging, then you'll often find action in like exotic pairs, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if that's going to be a dynamic for this week, that we're just going to be actually uncorrelated again.
When there's lawsuits and stuff like that, and crypto specific contagion, yeah, you will see the decorrelation. Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, on the whole, like, Solana daily, I want to see it close at 21.5 to kind of want to hold this trade any further. Like if we were to continue doing green candles, then I would consider one of these like melt up scenarios where it'll be shorted into the entire way up and then just pop once we get close to kind of the range high. But we'll see. I took third profit on this.
Unresolved, doesn't it?
It does, and you do have this super juicy target up here. Like these equal highs.
Did we just get equal lows? Did we just get equal lows though earlier today at that 1974 level?
We almost took out.
Yeah, that does look like it needs to get resolved first.
Ugh. Yeah, that was pretty close. Does that qualify as an equal low, you guys?
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, I'd call it that.
As far as I saw, like, there were a lot of liquidations happening in these last candles. A lot of longs were liquidated. If we didn't get through all the way to this low, I don't know. That tells me that we either we're not going to probe it anymore, because we got quite a response actually from this level first of all, and if we just exhausted all of the sellers here, and we had such an imbalance between buyers and sellers that the only way is up. If I was a seller, I would have stepped in somewhere along this orange line, as it's kind of a major level. If we were to continue down here,
if you were
It's
a seller.
fairly easy to spot. Like you can long this as long as you consolidate above 20.3. You can short it basically if we start to consolidate below it, right? And
Boy,
right, like if it
Sounds
it
we
could go up.
continue to
It could
get that,
go
or
up. It could go down.
that's always the case, right? But yeah, having a plan for each, I think, is
Yeah.
what kind of allows some flexibility.
God.
But yeah, in terms of if this is the buy, I mean, I don't know. I typically like these setups if I just view this as one, this is one leg up, and we've been ranging. We just took out low of that range, and now we shall continue
If it
higher.
falls, though. Yeah, if it falls, though, I mean, that the top of that lower cluster is what, 17, 17 and a half.
Yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't look, I don't know. Yeah, that's an iffy one. It doesn't look super strong where it is. Like there's plenty of air just below this current area to wick down at least.
yeah,
No.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Yeah, it's really a tough one. Yeah, that's why them liquidation wicks. If we get some crazy stuff tomorrow, yeah, maybe having some orders in that $18, $17 area. Might want to pick some of those up, maybe.
Yeah, but have a look at this. It's just like food for thought. Like if you look at this, just this leg or like the structure of this leg and consolidation, and then we sort of we take the weekly. It almost seems like we are. Like, does this make sense? Like it feels like we're here. It feels like on the weekly time frame we have done this.
Yeah.
Right?
I see what you're seeing. And this pair, if you just look back in general, it tends to make these long moves and little pauses and continued long moves. Like it doesn't really care to look back too much.
Right. And yeah, so that can absolutely be the scenario again. And I guess if we take downside first, then we have a lot more sustainability in the rally overall. I would say, but that's more of a bull market thing, right? Like then we're talking about that kind of stuff. If we paint it, if we do this, if we just pop, and then it's a bear market rally.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's, I don't know, that's I guess how I try to align those ideas, but curve fitting probably. That said, yeah,
The week is off to an interesting start. If you look at the weekly candle that we're in right now, it's pretty short wick. Yesterday to the upside and then down only. Well, not down only, but down. It was down only until a couple hours ago.
And we're on the third candle down here, so that may have something to it. Where we might want to resolve the top of this, the open of this week, at least.
You just got to be ready to react either way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a tricky one. Otherwise, I don't really have that many trades. I mean, I was looking at curve, same as you. Magna, I think actually might be in a short at this point. I'm not sure.
Wait, what?
You're
shorting? You're shorting my curve?
No, not yet. I had an idea.
Don't short my curve, bro.
Yeah. The idea was to get short
right?
at the top here, actually. Yeah, 110. That was going to be for the culture, but then I kind of changed my mind. I wanted to tighten the risk a little bit. That's going to be at 130, and if I get it, I get it. Stop.
130? Oh, please.
Stop would be about like above here or somewhere.
Okay.
But it's probably an area where you'll see a reaction, even if I'm right or wrong, which is why I like to trade there. because then you can usually get out for a tiny profit or break
shorty.
even. Yeah, especially I guess shorting a rally that's as sharp as this one's been.
Yeah.
And I think we have some RSI divergences happening as well in the hourly. Usually is. Just do a quick visual backtest of when the RSI of this pair was around this area. It's all close to tops.
Oh yeah.
So
Do you
stab
mind
at it.
discussing liquidity a little more? Do you mind discussing liquidity a little more? And you mentioned yesterday that the chart really isn't for trading. And what did you mean
Yeah,
by
I was
that?
curious about that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So exactly,
Yeah, that
what
was
is liquidity?
Yeah, it was kind of a wonky looking chart yesterday, but now it looks pretty good. Of course. Yeah. So what did you mean by that?
Yeah. Well, what did I mean by that the chart? I guess is not for trading. I'll make a quick switch to this. Wow, this is closing strong actually for once. I'm really starting to regret I didn't buy this. I was looking at what
Me too.
I wanted to post this a few days ago, and I wanted to shine a light on this massive divergence that you have going on on the daily chart. If there's a lot of time like between the divergences, that just makes it so much better. In my opinion, or the pump,
better.
it makes the pump really strong when it does come, usually.
Okay.
So yeah, but liquidity, I mean, in terms of trading this chart, I mean, maybe it's going to be more fun now, when there's maybe more liquidity. It's ironic.
No pun intended.
Exactly, no pun intended. But before, like, have fun trading this.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's a whole lot of nothing. A whole lot. That's a snooze fest until that news yesterday about that is what it looks like to me.
Yeah. And the connection I made yesterday, Magna, just for the record, was when you posted the news, I just had a look and I saw it was one of these like big volume bars. I saw this had happened. This big volume bar.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I was just trying to connect dots that possibly weren't there, but it made sense to me. Because, rich guys usually know just a little bit before us.
Yeah, right. Yep. Yes, they do. Not always, though. But
Definitely not always. Definitely not always. And as far as what is liquidity, it's a protocol where you take your ETH, you deposit it into a vault, and then you create stablecoins from it, or LUSD, basically.
From your ETH.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what do you do with the stablecoin?
Well, trade them, I guess. I mean, it's a way to do many things. Like you can
use it as collateral.
Yeah, sure. I mean, there's nothing stopping you, for example, from doing this. Like, take your ETH if you're anyways going to hold it, mint some liquidity from it, or LUSD, swap that to whichever stable you want, or keep it as LUSD. Then move it to an exchange, trade it with leverage, buy more ETH with it. I think what it like the possibilities is kind of complicated ways to get leverage, basically.
Yeah, I was gonna say where could you trade leverage with those kind of stablecoins?
With LUSD, I don't think you can trade leverage anywhere, but the point being, I guess, you get to keep your ETH, right? As long as you pay back the loan eventually, so you can effectively lever up. Like if you have 10 ETH, you can mint, say 9 or 8 ETH worth of stablecoins. Go have fun with those, make your money. So it is leverage in a way, right?
So is it an Ethereum token?
Liquidity is, and LUSD is as well.
Ah, okay. Okay. I think I had it confused with Synops, where you were saying it was a different chain. Like, okay, now I got it.
Yeah, Synapse
like that.
is a little bit
I
different.
like that idea. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. Take your ETH, yeah, and then convert it to that, and then do things with it.
This is DeFi basically. Like you have Maker is in the same category. I think Maker was doing quite all right today as well. Like,
oh yeah.
And I made a note when we were at the bottom because I was gonna start buying Maker here, which I actually wish I didn't do, unfortunately. But I just did a quick fundamental thing to
Wait, you wish you didn't make the note?
No, I made a pretty good note, which also says why I felt that that Maker, which is similar to Liquidity, was undervalued here, and it was basically that. Yeah, it issues about as much DAI as its current market cap, has a good treasury, etc.
Okay.
This one, reacting the same as the other stablecoin plays, really. Just in different, with different strength.
Very cool. Yeah, thanks for showing that to us. That's really interesting. Liquidity. I feel like I've been hearing about that. Did that just come on the market? Because I've been hearing that name for a long time.
Liquidity is quite old now, I think.
He was telling us about it a while ago. Yeah.
I mean, I know that a big thing with Liquidity in particular is that it's no longer it's one of the few protocols where all of the control of the smart contracts have been destroyed or relinquished. So this is one of the few protocols that the developers couldn't change it even if they wanted to. And the structure with the front end, like the interface you run to kind of connect with this protocol, is also just a bunch of decentralized applications. So there are a lot of different ways to access this protocol. So it's a very if you're worried about the government coming in and messing with your stable coins, Liquidity would be probably one of the most. It has the survivability. If that makes sense. It becomes like Bitcoin in the sense that it has no owner and all of that stuff. It's all deployed. It's finished.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
So what about? I want to ask you guys. Let's say we're going to go to the downside. Okay. So let's say we get maybe a little movement up. Which things are we looking to short that would outperform to the downside? Things like Ethereum. Like, what's going to tank the hardest? I mean, because Matic's got a long way to go. Matic's got a long way to go. Yeah.
Ocean.
Yeah, that's my pair is Matic, and I can show that a little later if you want.
Ocean too.
Yeah, let's pick up.
We can move it to.
Ooh, yeah, that does look kind of juicy.
Ocean looks good. I think. Actually, we think that Lido looks good as well.
Oh, Lido, boy. Thing with Lido, man. Yeah. Whenever it gets to 220 or $2, it just gets bought up with tremendous energy. Yeah, and it's something you've got to watch this trade like a hawk.
See, I don't love that double top thing that it has going near that blue line. Yeah, but
right, yeah.
But
that's a good observation. Probably gonna see this being run first.
but it doesn't have to. Yeah, I mean, that's what would be my guess. But like, huh?
Ooh, Ocean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Ocean.
GRT.
I'm
Okay.
seeing. Actually, yes. Go ahead.
I was just gonna give a quick sim, then I'll hand it over to you. GRT, I definitely like for downside. Maybe not immediate because we ran low, so it's gonna be revert up probably. But it has a lot of space, a lot of acceleration zones on the way down.
Sure does.
Equal
It
lows.
sure does. Yeah, I've got. Yeah, it just did SFP on the 4 hour. So it could possibly have some upwards, but I mean, it's got.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm with
Nice
you. I think
thin
this one
gaps,
has.
too.
Yeah, this one could fall pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah, it has been showing kind of relentless selling. Perp is
And you've
looking
just been
alright as
dying
well.
for this one.
Yeah, I should have. I
For
had
GRT, you've been like just
I had a pretty good
trying
short
to kill that
close.
thing.
Yeah, I had a pretty good short. I think it was from up here somewhere that I closed way too early. But that's those. I think Magic as well could be interesting.
Magic. Okay.
One of those things that if things really start going to shit for whatever reasons in like TradFi and everyone's panicking, like who's gonna hold Magic? Like you would dump it just you would dump it just because of the name. Can't justify
Future
holding
of
Magic.
Pretty stupid name. Pretty stupid name. I can't even find it. Does it have a Binance perp? Let me find out. Hold on. It does. Okay.
Yeah, anyways, I guess those are the ones that I've been sort of looking at. I mean, Matic as well.
Yeah, you want
Yeah,
to
Magic isn't on
Yeah,
Fenix,
Magic.
so
Yeah, it's not on Matic. You want to show us what you're looking at there, Wick?
yeah, let's take a look. Um,
We are on your screen.
cool. Thank you, sir. Yeah, this is kind of the setup right here. I really like the way this market structure is working right now. So this, this little chunk up top is where we took out that previous FI. This is back here. And I just really like how cleanly this has stepped up,
Mm-hmm.
and these lots of like kind of equal low type situations, really thin gaps that move up and don't get resolved. And then these like, I mean, look, this area here, this 106 area is like a major target for me. This is another little, I'm going to mark this just for double whammy. So this is kind of like a quadruple equal tap here like that and that. So that plus thin gap below that, and then we have this thin gap here. So yeah, these are my targets here, like this down to 110-ish or something, and then ultimately down to 106 is my like main goal. Obviously, I'm not like a swing trader, so I would like to get an epic short that goes super low, but that's where my like higher probability short goes down to is 106, and then from there I'd have to just see what price action does after that, because that's where things. What's that?
What do you think about re-entries for a short? If we get
so
I mean, the weekend was a gift.
yeah,
It just kept giving us gifts on that.
God, I know, really. Yeah, that short entry yesterday was like literally like right here, just it just went immediately. That was so good.
Yeah,
but the last
popping
one
up,
I was
right?
in lasted for 2 days. I entered like right here-ish and was just in a beautiful profit. And I was like, okay, it's gonna pull up a little bit. We're well away from my stop up here, my break even. And so we're not gonna come all the way back. Well, we need to take out these new equal lows. There's kind of a slightly lower quality like acceleration zone here, but still that nonetheless. And man, we just trickled right back up, and I gave it right all back, just break even,
Yeah.
and that was brutal. So I'm so stoked I got this one yesterday. But I
I think it happened overnight.
Like,
I think it happened overnight when it pumped.
right?
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
so I
was
woke up and I was like,
2 a.m. for me.
Yeah, I'm gonna short this. I'm gonna wake up and then no, I see this and that, so I short it.
Nice.
Left curve it.
Wick, you're gonna
My
like the AR
was
chart.
this low here at 115, and I cut it here because I didn't want to leave it overnight and potentially give it all back yet again. So I learned from this previous trade and was like, just don't get too greedy. But anyway, yeah. So re-entry, I'm looking at. I really like the way this has set up for a potential re-entry. Like we made this little gap here. We never really like consolidated. We just like gapped down, stepped down, gap down, step down. So at this point, it's a pretty high probability now that we come back up into this range, especially since we're midday or towards the end of the trading day today now, going into the anticipation of CPI tomorrow. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll get an entry. I'm looking for one, but I want to see it come up here.
120.
Fill up some of this gap. 120 could definitely be a late level.
I mean, and when I say stuff like that, I'm thinking on one of those crazy wicks that we see tomorrow might get us up to that, and then we can get an entry.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is what I'm looking for. It could even come up here a little higher, scam wick up into this kind of support makes resistance kind of thing. Depending on the extremity, it could even go a tiny bit higher potentially. But yeah, I'd expect just sort of in this range and then down. So that's what I'm looking at. Yeah, that feels clean to me. I mean, obviously it's crypto; it could just run higher. Who knows, But yeah, this feels like the cleanest one for me. So
or if CPI comes in like crazy low for some weird reason. Like remember those non-farm payrolls came in crazy high,
if we get a surprise, yeah.
Yeah, if CPI like surprise, then okay. And if you start heading up above the 120s and holding up there, then yeah, you probably want to leave it alone. Because it can't. If it gets back up to the 130, high 120s, it's not going to give us the same. They can't keep letting us get away with it, but maybe they will. Who knows?
Yeah, and we spent so much time here. Like this is like a big, point of control that if we are going to come up into this again, we're either going to reject hard and go down, or we're going to like run through it really fast. Like we're probably not just going to come up and sit here yet again after all of this. Yeah, so we'll know like pretty quickly. It'll be a quick move one way or the other, which is nice. Which is most likely. Who knows? But yeah. AR.
The Solana Filecoin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I heard you liked shorts, so I give you AR.
Yo, dog! I heard you like shorts.
I do. Okay, and so I see what you're saying here, like this kind of thing.
Market shorted immediately.
Yeah, I mean, right? Geez, right now it looks kind of heavy. Like it could just come down to 976 short term.
Right?
Bounced up of 10. There's these kind of equal low things, so this needs to resolve below 10. Like it's not just going to stop there and go higher, right? Yeah, I see it, man. Is that even? I use Femex, so is that even on Femex? Let's see here.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it is. It is nice.
I've played it on there before. Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I've never looked at this. That's cool. What do you think, Vlad? Do you have a target on this, or is that it? Is that what you were thinking?
I actually
short term.
Yeah, I just saw the chart for like 2 seconds, and I was like, okay, this has to break down. I mean, the way I see it, it would cascade First down to 10, then down to 9.8, 9.7, and probably stop at 9.5 if it's going to stop. If the cascade is more powerful, then, you know, we're going to continue to 9.3, 9.2. Fill that gap all the way down to 8.5 maybe? Like 8.8, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see what you're saying here. That's a really thin gap there, isn't it? Let's see. It's a little more ideal when you see the gap go above previous price area. So like, you know, if it went above a high and didn't look back to that high, but because this is in like a kind of an order block area. But that, I don't know, probably doesn't matter. Once we get down there, this does become relevant again. Let's look at it like on a 5 minute.
Because I think after that it has actually resolved most of
Oh, that's
the targets.
thing. After that, like down to 880-ish.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends on how much this is pushed down. First obvious target, like you were saying, is 9.8. But if there's there's a lot of people that bought this, you know, if there's a lot of pending volume on those stop losses, that'll most certainly get triggered around there. Like, you know, and no one steps in to buy it, then I don't know.
Yeah, once we kind of pierce this low here, this is on the 5 minute or 15 actually. It looks super granular, but this is the 15. Not clean. We have these skips in price. This one here, this gap. This is just a wide open gap here. Little but significant. Like these things have magnetic pull once you get near them. This even here, this is really chopped, really quick move that never got resolved. A lot of these other ones do get resolved. Like this was a thin one here and it got cleaned up here. You know, and all of that got cleaned up. Oh, I guess that one did a little bit over here. So this one here did a little bit over here, but they're still right from this pivot low. So yeah, these little granular details, they do matter. But yeah, I see you. I feel you here. Man, I can't really get into too many trades the rest of the day, so I might miss this one, but hopefully we get the same thing as what I'm looking for on Matic, where we just do a little pull up and then we get the entry for lower.
That
I think
would
it's funny
be
that we don't-
sweet.
Yeah. I think it's great that we don't even. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was just gonna say. I think it's funny that we don't even talk about Bitcoin. We just
Oh,
go
yeah.
straight to
Boring
the high
coin.
beta. Let's go, boy. All right, you guys. Well, yeah. Let's wrap it up.
Cool.
Let's wrap it up. Yeah, I'll add my
Yeah,
thoughts to
thank you,
Bitcoin.
guys.
Sorry, sorry. Real quick,
yeah,
Bitcoin
go ahead.
boring sideways. Okay, go Wick.
Beautiful. Yeah. Trade really thin, you know, alts that you've never heard of on low time frames, max leverage, and you'll make money. JK.
Financial freedom.
Cool. Yeah. No, that's all I've got. I feel you there. Majors don't feel super exciting. So yeah. Otherwise, I think we've covered everything I was thinking of. So you guys all set then?
Sounds good. All
All
right.
set.
Thanks a lot.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys.